because hurt is real, and it's hard sometimes to compare because the way that it could land for a person is that it sort of like diminishes or minimizes what hurt is for them. So one way for my brain of kind of trying to distinguish the two is to say, at least in my world as a psychiatrist, as a mental health professional, there's a way that we understand the word trauma that distinguishes it from other kinds of like emotional injuries that a person might experience. And you might say, for example, church hurt is like a cut or a burn, that's superficial. It's there for a while on your skin. There's a healing process that has to, or hopefully comes along with it. And then folks can sometimes re-engage, maybe in the same context, maybe in a different context, with their faith relationships and community. Whereas trauma is, it's more of a deeper injury, and maybe even repetitive, like happens over and over and over again, or such a violation that there's very little recovery from. There's more so dealing with for a very long period of time how that has impacted you, and that impact affects your ability to be a person, affects your ability to show up for yourself, ability to show up for others, maybe do your job. It affects your ability to function. And when we talk about trauma, it's often that's the way we're thinking about it, as something that's happened to you once or multiple times that affects your ability to be a person. And the wound is just so deep, it requires so much more caretaking, so much more attention and support. And the wound often doesn't quite ever go away, which is different than, that more superficial or surface injury or cut or hurt that was experienced, that some of us might just have that just in the back of our mind and never think about it like ever again, or maybe think about it and it kind of gets packed away, versus the trauma, it shows up and it could just change everything in that moment, that day, or for weeks when it kind of resurfaces for us and affects what we're doing and how we're showing up. So that's kind of how I think about it. And I'm also curious from you both, like how you've heard people talk about it and what your thoughts are on that.